Yo, what up, family? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. Guys, I had to turn the car around. I was leaving my crib. I was gonna go get some wings. Had to turn the car around because we just had the first official offseason trade. Well, unofficially because KD got traded, but that was still during the playoffs. Um, the first official offseason trade, the Boston Celtics, okay, have traded Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers for Anthony Simons, who I mentioned as a point of interest, and 2 second-round picks. I've always liked Anthony Simons. He's always had a tremendous talent, tremendous skill set. He is an expiring contract. So that's why the Celtics did it, all right? They want that flexibility, that cap flexibility, and they get it now, guys. They're going to save over $40 million in cap space with this trade. Here's my thing. I don't want to sound like a hater, even though I do hate the Celtics. I don't want to sound like a hater, but why does Portland keep trading Jrue Holiday away and from and for? It makes no sense why Portland is doing this. They're making off. Boston is making off like bandits. I'm telling you guys, man, these teams, man, this is insane. First of all, let me break down the trade, okay? For those of you just tuning in, Anthony Simons, a 26-year-old scoring guard who averages 19.3 points per game last season. Career 38% three-point shooter. All right? He's going to be with Boston to offset some of Tatum's absence. Obviously, he has an expiring $27.7 million contract in 2025-2026. That's going to give flexibility to either extend or trade him. Boston can, right? They also get 2 second-round picks, one via 2030 via the Knicks and one via 2031 via Portland. All right, the picks, they provide a minor draft capital, but they are useful for cost control role players, right? Or trade sweeteners. Financial relief, they saved about $4.7 million in salary and $40 million in taxes. Plus, they're getting $18 million below the second apron. Gives Boston a little bit more room to make additional moves. Now, I'm hearing they're still looking to trade some key players here, all right? So that got me to thinking, like, what happens with Jrue Holiday? Did they bring in Jrue Holiday to be a veteran leader for guys like Shaedon Sharpe, guys like Scoot Henderson? Or are they looking to reroute him and get maybe another first-round pick or something for him? I like Shaedon. Look, Jrue Holiday's 36. He's coming off of an injury. I don't know if he's going to be the same. But this is going to get really freaking good, y'all. This offseason has already started off with a bang. Boston is wasting no time, cost-cutting, and they got younger. And they got a little bit better, in my opinion, man. Now, here's the thing, right? Losing a 2-time All-Star in Jrue Holiday, right, hurts Boston's defensive identity, right? He averages 1.1 steal per game. His leadership will be missed. However, again, he's coming off of an injury. He is. And, he kind of have a little bit of a drop this year, impact-wise, right? Now, in short, Simon is going to boost the scoring, but he's going to struggle defensively, right? A concern given Holiday's role guarding top guards. They probably feel they got guys like Pritchard. They got guys like Derek White who can fill in that role and maybe get an extended role, right? With Jrue Holiday being out. But again, Tatum is out, so this is kind of they're more looking towards 2026, 2027, right? The trade aligns with obviously Tatum's recovery timeline, and it frees up cap space for, again, 2026, 2027. However, Simon's fit alongside White and Pritchard is definitely uncertain. They're all undersized guards, right? His extension eligibility could be complicated, for the finances, especially if he performs well. Like, what are you going to do? You might be forced to trade him again. Right now, again, this trade right here, man, Jrue Holiday at 35. He remains one of the best defensive guards, right? However, and he is a proven winner as well, winning championships in Milwaukee and in Boston in 2024, right? Now, he steps into Portland's starting point guard role. Are they going to want him there to mentor Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe, or are they going to flip him? That's my question. If they're going to flip him, Lakers have to be involved because we can use a guard like that, right? Now, he's very experienced. He's got great professionalism. And I think Chauncey Billups would definitely like a veteran like Jrue Holiday, man. But, man, I really feel like Boston got a young stud who can make up some of the scoring that they're given, that they're going to lose this year with Tatum being out with his Achilles injury. He's 26 years old, guys, right? He averages 20 points per game. He's got that potential at least, right? He was a cornerstone in Portland. I'm not surprised they traded him though. Portland has not been a winning organization. Let's see. D3 says new ownership really wants the flexibility back. Can't blame them. They've always had one pick frozen per the CBA. Yep, they get under that second apron, bro, and they save in $40 million in luxury taxes. It's definitely a cost-cutting move. Let's see. Miguel says I can see him going to the Mavs. I can see that. I don't think they buy him out. They gave up 2 second-round picks. They either want him to mentor the young guards that Portland has, or they want to flip him for something greater, and then maybe by the trade deadline. Who knows? So Celtics made off like bandits. They always do, man. I don't understand how they have that lifeline to Portland, right? Let's see. Just B says Simons is a solid pickup for some young firepower. Damn them Celtics. I'm saying, bro, they always make off like bandits. It's super annoying. And it's funny. I had just mentioned, I think, when was it? Was it the last stream during the finals that I had just mentioned Anthony Simons? No, it was the one before that when I was with Darius, when we were talking about, names. And that's the one name that came to mind. I said, Anthony Simons is somebody of interest. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets traded. He's a young up-and-comer, and he really intrigues me. He's been playing for a losing franchise. Now he's going to a winning franchise. It'll be interesting to see what he really becomes. Portland can flip Jrue again, I'm sure. Yeah, that's probably why they got him. That's probably why they got him. But I'm surprised that Anthony Simons didn't have more trade value than that. They had to give up 2 second-round picks. And there's you would think it would be Boston who's giving up 2 second-round picks to save money, not the other way around. Man, Boston always gets away with murder, and that's what really annoys me. He said Simons could have been our Malik Monk. Can you imagine Simons coming off the bench? But he's in a contract year, so I would have thought he would have wanted to start. He's going to have that opportunity in Boston now. But I would have loved Simons off the bench. Man, Malik Monk also might be on the chopping block. That's somebody the Lakers should look at right now. But, guys, we are off to a bang. Definitely hit that like button. Your boy busted a U-turn, man. I put my hunger on hold for this trade to break it down with you guys. What does this mean? It means Boston might be out there making more trades. Look, I know it's not likely to happen, but if I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to see if I can get Jaylen Brown off of them. I know it's not likely to happen again. I don't see why Boston would do it, but you never know how ownership is thinking. I'm picking up the phone, and I'm offering Austin Reeves for Jaylen Brown. We need a two-way player alongside Luka, and that guy would be perfect. If we have to throw in more than Austin, I'm willing to do it. I'm not saying that the Jrue Holiday signifies that they're rebuilding or anything like that, but you just never know what could intrigue Boston or not. And so is it Rui maybe they're interested in? Maybe a first-round pick? Maybe Dalton? I don't know, but I'm really trying to get Jaylen Brown or somebody along that caliber. Maybe Derek White. I don't think they'll trade either of the two. I'm just saying you have to do your due diligence if you're Rob Pelinka. You have to. Portland Trailblazers just said, here you go. I don't get it, man. I don't get how Portland gets away with this stuff. It bothers me to my core. And I like Jrue Holiday. He's 36. He's coming off of an injury. He'll still make an impact somewhere, but they just shed major, tax penalties, and they get 2 second-round picks out of it and a young stud who they can either re-sign or flip at the trade deadline. Come on now. Come on. Celtics pretty much got stand-in for Tatum. It's crazy, bro, how they can do something like this. You got the Lakers. It takes us multiple first-round picks to even pick up the phone for what's his name, DeAndre Ayton. Rumor has it they wanted more than one first-round pick for Ayton. Crazy, man. Youth is definitely the way to go. I agree, Miguel. And that'll be interesting to see if Walter is going to be able to go that route or if he's still going to, get some veterans. We'll see. Maybe a mix. He said, come on, Lakers, please make a move, trade for draft capital or something. Hearing great things. The Lakers are very active, but it takes two to tango. So I hope that we can get something done by the draft. But there's some deadlines coming up. Kyrie has to either opt in or opt out of his contract. Most likely he'll opt in by tomorrow. There's a couple players still hanging in the balance here, and I'm curious to see how that's going to impact the Lakers. Bro, at this rate, Giannis is getting traded next week. This promises to be one of the greatest off seasons in history due to the new CBA, due to all the changes and everybody swinging for the fences, especially in the East Coast right now. People are swinging for the fences because you see what happened. Again, prayers up for Tyrese Halliburton. I wish him a speedy recovery. He tore his Achilles, y'all. He's out for next year, right? So even that team might be able to make some moves. Maybe they offloading Miles Turner. Who knows? Some cost-cutting moves. Who knows? But it's going to get interesting, Vince, and I'm here for it, man. Again, hit that like button because your boy busted a U-turn. I was well on my way to to Wingstop, man, to get that deal, that 20 for 20. And my phone started going off, and I'm like, okay, let's go back. Shall we try to get Holiday and Nathan from Portland? There's an idea. There's a very interesting idea. What is going to be the cost? Because I promise you, we're not going to get the same price that they get. I promise you that. I promise you that we are definitely not going to get the same price range that they are, right? Again, I don't see why Portland did this other than maybe they want a mentor. But outside of that, you gave up 2 second-round picks on top of saving them money, bruh. Yeah, somebody like somebody in the front office, right? Might as well just make it breaking news. Giannis to the Spurs. Come on with it, Shams. We'll see. Giannis might hold things up, y'all. He might be the main piece that holds things up for free agency. I hope not, because we had a summer where I forgot who it was holding things up, and the free agency moves didn't happen until after this big free agent went. I forgot what year it was, but I hope that's not the case with Giannis, right? If he's holding up trades and free agency moves, it's going to irritate me. We want fast-paced, ready action. If Brown makes $7 million in year or two, we got to figure out. I'm sure we can figure out salaries, and we have to attach Vando or something, but we have to swing for the fences, D3. Getting a two-way player like that next to Luka and LeBron would be insane. Insane. Also, point of interest, right, is that contract extensions have already started to happen. Daniel Gafford and the Dallas Mavericks signed a 3-year contract extension worth nearly $60 million, keeping him a Maverick to 2028, 2029. And you might think, well, there goes the centers. I actually think this makes him more tradable, right? This makes him more tradable. That contract is a lot more tradable. And they might know something we're not. Maybe something is in the works. Who knows, right? Again, Steven Adams with the Rockets. That was kind of a foretelling of something because they signed him to a 3-year, $39 million. Now they have Kevin Durant. You see how things are starting to connect, right? Chris Middleton and the Washington Wizards, the All-Star picked up his $33 million player option. Now that one is more so he's not going to make that much more in his career. Smart to pick that up. Pat Connaughton exercised a $9.4 million player option for 2025-2026 season, staying with the Bucks, limiting more of their flexibility. Back to Giannis, right? We're going to see how much flexibility they can make. Rumor has it Giannis wants to see things happen this offseason before he decides where he wants to go. Hurry up, Giannis. We ain't got all day. Yeah, that contract is very tradable. Just saying. That contract is very tradable. Pay attention. Pay attention. You might still get traded. Angie was cracking. Angie, she said, hey, Dan, Boston will be making more moves to get under that second apron. For sure. If I'm the Lakers, I'm picking up the phone, seeing what's up with Jaylen Brown, Derek White. Heck, even Kristaps Porzingis, even though he's injury prone and I don't want him, still have to see what the asking price will be, just out of curiosity. But yes, Boston's already started things going. I told you guys I wouldn't be surprised if we get moves right after the NBA Finals. Here we are. One night later, bam, we got a big shoe to drop. What's next? Lakers might be next. So stay tuned for that, guys, because the Lakers might be next. Kawhi held things. Oh, it was Kawhi. That was the free agent. That's right. I forgot because he's in an irrelevant franchise. That's probably why I forgot. But yes, it was Kawhi. It was Kawhi, and that was annoying. I don't want another offseason like that, so hopefully we don't get it. Celtics and Blazers not trading with the Lakers unless the trade favors them heavily, and that's the annoying part. You still have to do your due diligence and make phone calls, right? Well, you never know. They might heavily favor Austin Reeves since he dropped a 40-piece on the road in their house. I mean, it's good for business to trade for a white boy that can cook, right? And he can absolutely cook. They already got one in Pritchard. They can get another one, man. They can get another one. If you're Boston, it definitely is good for business. You know what I mean? Dan, do you like Lively? Do you think Lively is available? If I'm Dallas, I'm not trading Lively. I'd rather trade Gafford, who I just signed to an extension. That contract looks very tradable to me. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, $20 million a year for a backup big man or potentially starting big man. But it's the new market, man. The new market is going to look a lot different. People were complaining about Austin Reeves, talking about we should trade him. He's going to want over $30 million. The CBA continues to grow, meaning that more money, more shared collective revenue. And there's going to be an expansion announced pretty soon, I think, based on what I've been hearing. We get Vegas, but there's going to be more revenue for teams to spend. There's going to be the cap is going to increase. So, 40 is the new 30, and 30 is the new 20, and 20 is the new 10, right? So, again, that Daniel Gafford contract to me looks very tradable. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade him at some point in the trade deadline or even this summer. Still eligible to be traded. Just because he signed a contract extension doesn't mean – I forgot what the threshold was. I think if it was under 50 million or something like that, you can trade the contract, right? So just pay attention because things are happening with a purpose and for a reason, right? Let's see. My guy Alvin says, give them DK4, Rui, and Gabe for Ayton and Holiday. Done. I'm doing that all day. We improve in two positions we desperately need. But again, the Laker tax is real. I'm not expecting that trade, but hey, I'm pretty good at kind of getting a sense of who's going to get dealt. I mentioned Anthony Simons just a couple of days ago over on Playback TV, and look, bam, there he goes. It was a point of interest. Boston jumped on it. Congratulations to them because they got a really, really good young stud who might be there long term or not. But he's definitely going to put up points in a hurry. He's got a lot of potential. He's kind of been buried on a sucky franchise, but he's got an opportunity to make a name for himself here, right? I want to talk a little more about the trade before I get into free agency. Short term, I think Boston wins big time, right? They get scoring in youth, right? They stay competitive in 2025 and 2026, right? Despite the absence of Jason Tatum, and they have a huge financial saving of $40 million. That's no joke. We knew teams were going to make trades based off of their saving money. This was a cost-cutting move. Especially, it makes all the sense of the world with Jason Tatum being out for the year. They save $40 million in taxes. That's crazy. Okay. And they're trying to navigate the second apron. Now, again, they're going to lose. Jrue Holiday's defense and veteran leadership will be missed. But they already have depth in the backcourt with Derek White, Pritchard, and now Anthony Simons. So it's going to mitigate a little bit of that, right? Now, long term, again, Portland Trailblazers, it could be successful depending on Jrue Holiday's impact. Does he mentor or does he bring in more? Do they flip him for a first-round pick or young talent? And, that's going to matter. Inconclusive grade for the Portland Trailblazers, depending on what they do with that Jrue Holiday contract. But Boston Celtics, to me, get an A. They save money and they gain potential and get younger and, replenish some of the scoring that Jason Tatum leaves behind. So they get an A from me. No plus because it's Boston. I ain't giving no plus. Portland, bruh, y'all had to give up multiple second-round picks on top of Anthony Simons. That's a huge L. Plus, you get back the player you traded away because you didn't think fit your timeline at 35 when you're older. I'm sorry. I got to give Portland Trailblazers for now, unless they flip Jrue Holiday for something good, I'm giving Portland an F for this deal. This seemed like a damn gimme for Boston. It seemed like they set it up on a platter for them to set them up for success. But, yeah, that's the trade right now. Let's see. My guy D3 says, Gafford is going to be taking 10. Yes. 10% of the salary cap that year. Insane. 10, that's a steal. We have to change the way that we evaluate it because 20 looks like a big number. It's not. That's what I'm saying. 20 is like the new 10, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's, looking at the CBA and how things are changing, 20 is the new 10. I think a lot of fans, they look at these numbers and they're like, whoa, he's getting paid 20 million. That's almost like a all-star numbers in the past. Now all-stars are getting paid 40 million, right? Supers are getting paid over 50 million. Jimmy Butler, aging Jimmy Butler at the age of 35, going on 36, or however old he is getting paid 60 million. So again, 20 mil sounds like a lot for the old NBA, but it's not. In the modern NBA, 20 is the new 10 and vice versa. I agree, D3. Yes, sir. Dan, what is your gut telling on the Lakers? What do you expect trade-wise? I'm expecting us to trade for a big man, and I'm expecting us to get multiple big men, whether that's via trade and via signing. Look at names like Nick Claxton. I still believe in Walker Kessler. My gut's been telling me Walker Kessler can be had for the right price. I still believe, and I would love to have him. He'd be my priority because he's still on a rookie scale contract, which gives you a little bit of flexibility to build the right roster this year. Next year, he's due for an contract extension. He's going to get the big bucks. He's going to be one of the best defensive centers in the league. But we are all about the now. And so if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking for a rookie scale contract so I can add other contracts around that and get even better, right? So we got to do it, man. We got to do the right thing, and hopefully the right trade is on the horizon. But I believe, and the Lakers always have, and let's see what Mr. Walter can do for us, right? New ownership group. Let's get it, man. My guy said Portland was actually really good to end the season. There's an outside chance they want to have a play-in season. Man, Portland, I don't know what the heck they're doing. They held on to Damian Lillard way too long. Now they bring back Jrue Holiday. It's just weird. Portland is weird. They traded a young piece just because they didn't want to pay him. Come on, fam. Come on, bro. Like, y'all suck too much not to want to pay players. Jalen Brown, Embiid, and Tatum are $70 million players, but yeah, you have to look at the base and how much percentage of the cap these contracts are taking now. Facts. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, my brother. He said, Blazer fan here. Our team is a total joke. Might as well throw in the whole team away. Scoot is a bust. We need a fire Chauncey ASAP. Hey, listen, man. Hang in there, Hector. I commend you for staying a Portland Trailblazer fan through trials and tribulations, man. I salute you, fam. But it is ugly. I mean, if you're a Portland Trailblazer fan, I know Anthony Simons. I have league pass. I know he's a fan favorite. Am I right, Hector? He's a fan favorite. He was one of my favorites. I have his rookie card. I might have to sell that now because he's a Celtic. But I have an autographed rookie card with a game-worn patch on him. That's how much I believed in Anthony Simons since he got drafted. And he's a 19-point per game, 20-point per game scorer, still 26. You offload him to Boston. Now Boston has flexibility that they save money. They can either extend him or they can flip him and get some more assets. It's just a horrible move by the Portland Trailblazers for me. I gave them an F. Do you agree with me, Hector, since you're a Blazer fan? I'm a very objective Laker fan, bro. I look at the entire NBA. I gave Portland an F, but that grade can improve depending on what they do with Jrue Holiday. If he ends up mentoring Scoot and Scoot becomes something, or they end up flipping him for something more valuable, then we can reevaluate this trade later. But for now, yeah, why the fuck? I'm sorry. Why would you guys give up 2 second-round picks to Boston on top of a cost cut? So they really made off like bandits, man. And I hate that for Boston. I hate that. My guy said, hey, Dan, saw tweet from Jake Fisher that Portland looking to compete in the West and keeping Jrue. Pathetic franchise. This is why my man is mad. You see what my guy just said right now, right? You see what my guy, the Portland Trailblazer fan, just said. Shout out to Hector. He's every right to be mad because they don't have a sense of direction. I hate teams that aren't. Look, they have a lot of young talent. I'm a big Shaedon Sharpe fan. I think Shaedon Sharpe can be really, really, really good. Maybe that's why they bring in Jrue Holiday. Maybe they see that they have too much youth and they want to mix in some veteran leadership. But a lot of the moves they've made have been very questionable, starting with holding on to Damian Lillard too long to the point where you got okay value in return, right? Come on now. You can't do stuff like that. And, this is why I say if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, you got to get rid of Booker while his trade value is still high. Don't wait till he gets a horrible injury or gets old or something, and then you want to trade him for a couple first-round picks. Nah. You got to look, strike while the iron's hot, period. Hey, what's up, man? My guy Steven said, hey, Dan, much love from Oklahoma. You made a Laker fan. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the love, brother. My guy said, that's why bad franchises stay bad. And it's already hard because, they're on a smaller market, but with the new collective bargaining agreement, they should be all right, even in a small market. You just make the right decisions and you're good. You're good if that happens. But all in all, guys, this trade to me is an A for Boston and an F for Portland. And I still don't comprehend why they had to give up 2 second-round picks on top of saving them money. On top of saving them money, bro. Just extremely disappointed, man. But again, it is Boston. Nothing surprises me. The luck of the Irish continues to strike. And hopefully the Lakers can get a little some of that luck because if we can make a couple of moves, we'll be good. Let's see. Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. Let's see. Prince says there will probably be 2 to 3 solid teams that won't even make the play-in, and the Blazers think that they could compete. Bulls of the West, bro, are the Blazers. That's a good comment. That's a good comment right there. Hey, Dan, do you think Rob Pelinka will stand pat and running it back with the same roster? No, absolutely not. We cannot run it back with the same roster after being gentlemen swept one year and then swept the other year in the playoffs. You cannot. He said everything went downhill since we let CJ go to New Orleans. I don't see us contending in the West until probably 5 more seasons. Well, the beautiful thing about the NBA is things can change rather quickly, right? But yeah, it doesn't look good for you guys right now for the current time being. It does not look good for you guys. I agree with that. The trade is definitely crazy. This Caruso did say it was just sarcasm. He was just writing the naysayers in his comments. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about what he said about the championship ring, that he finally got a real one, because he said it sarcastically. I know Caruso cherishes the Laker fan base and the Lakers city and the Los Angeles, the city, and our franchise. I know he cherishes us, and we always, kind of be grateful for that championship, and he was a big part of it as well. Let's see. Titanic said, "Yo, we got a lot of dead weight on the team, hoping for major trades on the horizon. Keep your eyes peeled, man. I gotta have my phone on high. I had it on vibrate. I gotta have it on high because I cannot miss a notification. You guys are gonna see me a lot this summer. I'm expecting to report on so many deals, and not only am I covering the Lakers, now I'm covering the entire NBA. I'm giving you guys the breaking news on almost all, if not all, major trades. So unless I'm away from the house or I can't get to a computer near you, then I'll miss on the video. But I had to bust the U-turn for this one, man, because again, Boston doing Boston things. Dan, I don't believe Pelinka will keep his job past this year because Magic knowing the new owner. We'll see. You could have a good point. We will see, right? But time will tell, man. I can't pencil that all the way in there. You have to think that this guy, Mark Walter, was already a minority stake owner. And so you have to think that he had to be penciled in a lot of these decisions. It wouldn't make sense that they gave Rob Pelinka a contract extension only to be fired the next year, right? But again, I could be wrong. I just feel like he had to be factored into the decision that Jeannie made to give Rob Pelinka an extension. They have a good relationship, right? She's still acting president. What is she, a governor of the Lakers or something like that? So, yeah, I don't think we should concern ourselves with Rob Pelinka right now. He just pulled off a huge trade with the Luka Doncic, and I think that actually bought him time. Let's not have short-term memory loss because we lost in the first round. Let's be honest. Rob Pelinka pulled off the trade of potentially the century, right? Depending on how we build around Luka now. But, yeah, I wouldn't really pencil him all the way out the door. I know he's made some horrible mistakes, like not re-signing Alex Caruso, trading for Westbrook, certain mistakes. But I think right now he's in good standing with the front office for now. That could change, right? Next phase says, but the Blazers will want 7 first-round picks and a handy for DeAndre Ayton or Robert Williams from the Lakers. We got to figure something out, man. We got to figure something out. I don't know where we're going to get the trade from or where we're going to get the free agent from, but we got a rich owner. That's got to count for something, right? It's got to be some money slipped under the table or something to get us a deal. We have to, man. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities. The Lakers have to hopefully capitalize on said opportunities. Boston just did. I don't know what they did. They sold their soul to the devil or some shit to get a deal like this. But they got it. That's the bottom line, right? Let's see. Only Bam, Triple J, Kessler. I will give up AR and DK seriously. An all-star level player, maybe Jared Allen. Yeah, for sure, man. We can't just dangle Austin Reed's name like he ain't on the similar level to Desmond Bane. He's up there, man. People just have short-term memory loss because he had a bad playoff series, but don't forget he was hurt as well, right? So if I'm trading Austin Reeves, I want a similar package. I want 4 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks at least, and a pick swap and some decent role players, or a star player in a package, right? People call me delusional, but let's be honest. Austin Reeves is a borderline all-star player. You don't just give those away, right? So I agree. It has to make sense. If it's a starting caliber center, like the ones you mentioned, like Triple J or Bam Adebayo. By the way, I just dropped the odds. Vegas has us as the favorites to land Bam Adebayo. Now, they're not always right. Vegas is wrong a lot of times. They're like 50-50, but maybe there's something there. Maybe us giving Pat Riley a statue will, scratch our back. We scratched yours. We'll see, right? Let's see. They can actually hire a GM while keeping Rob. Not really that hard to do with the rich owner. No cap space or CBA to worry about when upgrading the front office. Great point. And that's something we've been hearing a lot. That's something we've been hearing a lot in the rumor mill, that there is going to be major upgrades to this Lakers training staff, to a lot of what we're doing right now. So that's the good news, man. That is the good news. But look, guys, I wanted to bring you guys a very brief breaking news video. I gave you guys the grades. Boston, unfortunately, gets an A. I got to be impartial when it comes to breaking these things down. They get an A. I might as well put the plus on there because I think Anthony's about to break out. Portland, what are you doing? You get an F from me. You gave up 2 second-round picks and cap flexibility and youth. You gave up the trilogy of goodness to Boston for a player that may or may not make an impact on your team. We'll see. Time will tell. They're an F for now. May or may not get raised moving forward. I'll take a couple comments. questions. Your boy's hungry. I put that on hold just to come back, man. So hit that like button. Subscribe if you already haven't. Hit the post notification bell. I pride myself on being the first to report. All right. So make sure you guys show love. Anthony Simon says, why would Boston do that? I'm sorry. IE Network says, why would Boston do that? Boston does that because they save $40 million. Boston does that because they're not going to compete for a title. This is going to be a showcase year for all their talent. You can see Pritchard get more minutes. Derek White get more minutes. Now they got a young stud, and Anthony Simons, who's a 19/20 point per game scorer, get all the minutes he can afford and handle. And you never know, they might make a nice little run. They still have Jaylen Brown. They still have some key pieces. But this was a cost-cutting move that gave them the, 3 things they want: draft picks, second-round picks at that. It gave them flexibility to get under that second apron if they make another move or two, and gave them some young talent. So I think it's a major win for Boston. What are you doing if you're Portland? I have no clue. But we will see. We will find out. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be here around the clock, man. If anything breaks, you know where to find me, guys. Smack that like button for your boy. Video is brought to you and sponsored by Underdogs, promo code DTLF. Same thing with Prize Picks, man. Sponsored by both of those amazing daily fantasy sports companies. So make sure you guys tap in, show love. I'm waiting for the Laker moves as well, Jericho. I'm right there with you, brother. I'm waiting, and you guys are waiting. And as soon as I hear it, you know where to find me, all right? Enjoy the rest of your night. Unless something else breaks, I'll see you guys later, all right? Peace.